go.
All right, it's 5 o'clock. We'll call the Barron County Board of Supervisors for Monday, June 15th, 2026 into order. And everybody's hit their present button. So you got the 4 that are gone right now? Okay. So Audrey, Diane, Craig, and Stacy are absent at this point in time, okay? Public notification?
We have notified the public according to the meeting law.
Okay. And for our invocation, we have Reverend Sarah Sandler from the United Presbyterian Church in Rice Lake.
Good evening. Let us pray. Gracious God, we give you thanks for the opportunity to gather in service to the people of Barron County. We ask your wisdom to guide the decisions made in this meeting, your compassion to shape our concern for all who call this county home, and your integrity to strengthen our commitment to the common good. Help these supervisors to listen carefully, speak thoughtfully, and act faithfully on behalf of those they serve. Grant patience in moments of disagreement, clarity in times of complexity, and courage when difficult decisions must be made. We remember that public service is a sacred trust. May the work accomplished here today promote justice, foster cooperation, and contribute to the well-being of our communities. Bless the residents of Barron County, those who work to keep our community safe and thriving, and all who seek to serve their neighbors. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor.
Wonderful.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jeff, are you going to talk about the special matters? Jeff, can you hear?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep, just briefly, that is a tentative August 3rd. We'll see where they're at on the remodel. They're behind. But yes, would be August 3rd. If not, we'll go into September. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, when we do that, is that going to be at the, the first start of their meeting?
Yes, we'll start there.
Okay, all right. Item number 5, approve the agenda. Motion by Supervisor Cook, seconded by Supervisor Eby. Any concerns with the agenda? Seeing none, let's vote. Bob's a yes. Okay, that passed with, well, actually it's 25 yes, wouldn't it be, and 4 absent? Okay, so it passed. All right, approve the minutes of the May 18th, 2026 meeting. Motion by Supervisor Jenkins, seconded by Supervisor Heller. Any concerns with the minutes? Seeing none, let's vote. Okay, that passed with 25 yes and 4 absent. The minutes are approved. Thank you. Public comment, I believe we didn't have any. Okay. On number 8, the resolution recommending approval of the 2027 budget and timeline, and we need a majority for that resolution. Motion by Supervisor Heller, second by Supervisor Cook. Anybody have any questions or concerns on that? Okay, all right. Seeing none, let's vote. Again, that passed with 25 yes and 4 absent. Thank you. Item number 9, resolution to recommend approval authorizing the 1 FTE in economic support, and that will require a 2/3 vote or 20 members present. Motion by Supervisor Jenkins, second by Supervisor Turcott. Supervisor Efforts has a question.
I'm just wondering if this is just to have it go for the duration of the grant, for the, there's money involved.
Yes.
That we get with it,
And
and
it-
then if it's required, something,
You want to just repeat that so the audience can hear?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
I was just wondering about that this was to have this position for as long as the money that comes with the mandate or the opportunity. And then are we planning on, or we don't think about later if the money runs out and we want to continue this?
Well, the first answer would be that when the money runs out, the position is finished.
Okay,
Unless there's some reason that the department comes to us and tells us that we really need that and why and all that kind of stuff.
okay, thank
Right.
you.
Any other questions? Not, let's vote. Patty said yes. So it's 25 and 4 then?
It won't let me do it.
Okay, so she said yes, so it'll be passed by with 25 yes and 4 absent. Thank you. Okay, item number 10, resolution, DNR grant for a kayak launch. Motion by Supervisor Heller, boy's on the ball today. Second by Supervisor Evie. Any questions on that grant request application? We just need a majority vote. Seeing none, let's vote.
it went down and I brought it back up and now, yes.
At 25 yes and 4 absent, so that passed. Thank you. Item number 11, the zoning ordinance amendment, rezoning Town of Stanley, Brian K. and Suzanne Baronic, owners. Motion by Supervisor Bukowski, second by Supervisor Cook. Any questions or concerns with that amendment? Seeing none, let's vote. And that passed 25 yes and 4 absent. Thank you. Item number 12, report from our county administrator. I guess that'll be you, Michelle, taking this spot. Okay.
It'll be Michelle.
All right, so you should see in your packet, there are a few pages that are showing you the financials quarterly. This is as of March 31st. And what it does is compares to the prior year. And then you also have multiple years of history. So it kind of gives you by the categories. It's not really broken out so much by department. It is showing you the taxes and intergovernmental. So these are the categories that we have to report to the state and follows the format of our audit. And then there are some notes at the bottom. So the first page being revenues, you can see we show you the comparison 26 versus 25. So taxes and transfers, for instance, just 71,000. So that was made up of sales tax and highway levy. So there was about 48,000 more in sales tax quarter one '26 than quarter one '25. And then you can see some explanations there. The 218 intergovernmental revenue looks like a great number. It's probably just a timing thing. If claims are being done quicker and billing for services for human services are being paid quicker, Medicaid has been paying pretty quickly. That will drive that number up. The true test is when we get to the end of the year and see if that really is more revenue or if it's just a timing issue. Licenses and permits, we actually budgeted 10,500 less for the NR 135 permits, and the sanitarian revenue was down a little. The fines forfeitures, that 13,000 is jail assessments were up 7,600. OWI surcharges were up 9,400, comparing that same time period. The public charges for services, the negative 104, it went down, but there was about $40,000 worth of logging in '25 that we don't have in '26. And our out-of-county prisoners were also down in that same comparative period. Intergovernmental charges, those of you on Highway Committee know snow means money for the county. When the Highway Department is doing a lot of plowing and winter road maintenance, not only for the towns, but also for the state of Wisconsin, then that drives up that revenue number. So almost all of that was specifically highway. Miscellaneous, again, comes to highway maintenance. They were actually more than that, but we had some decreases in some health insurance costs and some interest on the bond for waste to energy. So the net is still up 184,000. And then the other financing, that there was a 500,000 in loan proceeds that was in the SISOP or the capital improvement area. So that's what fluctuated that number. The second page then gets into expenses. Let me try to scroll here if I can. Sorry, there's the bottom part for those of you who were looking on the screen that I was just talking about. Clearly, I can't do two things at once this evening. All right, so this is the expenditure. So again, same format showing you 26, 25, and then we have a 5-year average out here too. And then some explanations at the bottom. Same sort of logic. So general government category, we had a decrease there of 37,000, but there were 2 invoices from Honeywell that Aaron was discussing the need for him to pay for the maintenance facilities area. So that's why that one looked different. Otherwise, it would have been super close. Sheriff's Department, that one,
Michelle, does that mean that they may not be paid?
He was questioning what, and going to go back and look at the contract and figure out exactly what those Honeywell invoices were for and if he should pay them or not. Okay. So they actually came in as being late, and we're not sure if they went to Steve's email or what happened, but he may have paid them since then.
We're still reviewing the contracts, and so I don't know if a final decision's been made, but I know that Samantha has been working on that.
Okay, good.
So the next line there for public safety, it looks good. We're 70,000 less, but 45,000 of 25 was a purchase of a vehicle by the Sheriff's Department. And then they also had purchased tasers and some canine training that made up another 25,000 or so. Then Public Works Highway, again, winter maintenance, the costs are up, so it's great the revenues are up, but of course our costs to perform that work also went up. So this is showing you on the expense side how that comes to be. Health and Human Services, when I reviewed, and they have a lot of accounts, by the way, but when I reviewed them, it appears to relate quite a bit of it to placements and some costs for CSP and CCS. So, and there was some things, some changes with the ADRC and aging too that kind of all fall under there with expenses being down. So, there's a lot of things that can be kind of just a nominal amount of money when we're looking at the big picture here. I mean, just one employee who takes single health insurance versus family health insurance can give you a several $1,000 swing. So then the next line for culture, recreation, education, we're down 41,000 from the previous period, but 2025 included a larger trail project of about 86,000. And then I believe in '26, you also raised the library allocation by about 36,000. So the difference kind of works out to that 41. Conservation and development.
I think we decreased the percentage we were going to give them, and then we raised it back up, maybe?
That was on that 5-year.
Yes.
So the next one is, $1,988. So that was one of those health insurance situations. Somebody changed it just a little bit. Otherwise, their expenses are pretty steady. Capital outlay, 340,000 less than the prior year. So 25 included some CDBG for the project and highway. And then 26, we have Sallyport and some more money put into SISOP. So they kind of all net out, but there's multiple numbers in that final landing space. And then the debt service, that actually increased because there was a payment made. So Waste to Energy has their newer debt for the shredder.
And Waste Energy is making all their payments?
Yes.
They made
they're-
part.
Yeah. Their cash flow is good. They had a little bit of downtime, but it's still, everything looks really good out there. We need to have a bigger plant,
Well, but I'm sure it looks absolutely fabulous out there. I just want to make sure that their payments are on time.
Yes,
Okay, and current.
yes.
Good.
Is that right, Michelle?
Yes. The
And I just-
payments are made, and they actually paid 300,000 of the last payments made from their funds. So it didn't all come from debt service.
That's very good.
Yes, that's
They're
excellent.
doing a good job out there. I have just one other quick note. So on the previous page, intergovernment charges and services, you talked about plowing, income 246,410, and then miscellaneous revenue, highway winter maintenance increase per the winter 184. And so if I do my math right, it cost us 244, as you said, to do that. So we netted about 186 grand.
So actually of that 184, they really had 296,852. So you'd take the 246 and the 296 is really what their revenues were up.
Okay.
That 184 is net, including other departments and things.
Okay.
So it's even a better picture than the numbers you're looking at when you did the math.
I went to Rice Lake. I could have been close. Thank you.
And then the third page is a summary of the revenues and expenses. And same format, gives you the years and the 5-year average. And then in the call-out box there, we talk about the general fund, unassigned fund balance, and that's an unaudited number because we don't have the audit back yet. But, so it's 12 million. And you can see the deficit being the difference between March 2026 revenues less expenditures is the 8.2 million. So that's the number then. You can see there in the bold letters that number represents the amount of cash we need to cover expenditures. And it's very comparable to last year, and you can see it's 41%. I think last year was a little less than that. So it's a good number. I mean, it's nothing to be concerned about. And then there's some examples of why we want a good, strong reserve, and some examples of things from the past off there to the right under those bullet points. And any questions about any of that? Or?
Don't see any. Oh,
Okay, so, yeah.
On that bond rating, I thought we had a AA+. Is that incorrect?
I don't know if it's a plus.
I don't know if
is
the
it?
plus is in there. You know, Jeff? I think it's,
It's not a double A plus, it's a double A.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think we're large enough that we can ever get to a plus.
or a triple A, yeah.
Yeah,
My understanding is.
We will never get to a triple A minus.
okay. All right, so the next thing in your packet is the management discussion and analysis. So this is put together for the auditors. Just gives you an overview of what's gone on in 2025. A lot of it is information that was previously in here, if you've seen this before, and then we just sort of update it with current year information. So we start by talking a little about sales tax, kind of go over the unemployment rate, and I'm not going to read this to you. Obviously, you can take a look at it, and the sources are listed here. So you can see where things come from. We get into the whole levy limit and the net new construction, maximum and actual levy. And then this next section is about what was the ARPA funding. It is kind of breaks down how that was spent or will be spent out for the unfinished projects right now. And then we have the Housing Authority. And then we get into talking about the highway shop. And that one actually returned $272,000 to general fund after it was done.
After it's 5 million short.
So then we have the waste to energy plant, just kind of talking about what's gone on there. And the Sheriff's Department's Sallyport project, which is almost complete. And there will be, well, we have a few final bills to pay, but there will be funds returned. So the 26 number will show that there's funds returned to the general fund and to debt service from that also. So you can take a look at that and ask questions at
Anybody
will.
have any questions?
Very good job, Mr. Chairman. Back on the unassigned fund balance at 41% for the new people on the board, how closely do you guard that to make sure we don't go below 33?
I think below 25.
Oh, 25.
Because our policy states that we keep unassigned fund balance at 25 to 33%. So when we do the budget, upcoming one here, Michelle and Jeff will go through that, and we'll get that unassigned fund balance down to at least 33% and a little more, a little lower if need be for the budget. But we will keep that unassigned fund balance in the 25 to 33%. And what it's nice to have that. Say if the audit comes out and says it is 41%, we get to use that extra money to help for the budget for next year. So. Any other questions? Okay. Then in the packet, the Barron County Economic Development newsletter. Brandy's doing an excellent job. She's contracted with the Rice Lake Tourism, and she's doing a great job with tourism and helping with all these kind of things with our newsletter. So, and getting back to that management analysis or the financials. You don't have to feel like, hey, I didn't ask the question tonight, now it's over. If you take this home and want to really study it and look at it, you can always call basically Michelle and then Jeff and then me. So I know the least. Okay, any questions on any of that? If not, then we have the appointments. Travel Northwest Wisconsin Tourism, that's the old ITBAC. We want to appoint Brandy Nelson, our tourism representative. Motion by Supervisor Moen, second by Supervisor Eby. Any concerns? If not, let's vote. Okay, it shows 21 and 8, so we've got 4 of them that didn't. Yeah, there's 4 thumbs up, so. Jamie and Lauren, Bob. So we got 25 yes and 4 absent, okay? So that motion's carried for the appointment. Claims, petitions, and correspondence. Nope, you don't have anything, okay, good. Okay, then on item number 15, suggestions for future agenda items. Take note of 15A there, that's a special county board meeting that we're gonna be discussing our 5-year strategic plan with the head guy from UW Extension explaining that. And then our rules and procedures and our own Corp Council will be discussing that. And that's on June 23rd, 2026 at 10 a.m. at the highway facility. And then we'll have a county insurance presentation, recodification of sections of the ordinances, appointment of a land services director, and a resolution, $20,000 for that Discover Media Works. I don't know how much we've talked about that here, but there's Uniquely Wisconsin. It's a program that highlights our county, and it's a cost of $60,000. The county is putting in $20,000 of that, and then I believe Rice Lake Tourism and private industry will be putting in the rest. I also think they're gonna be bumping that up for a 3-year plan to $100,000, but our $20,000 is that's it from the county. So the other 80 will come from private industry and Rice Lake Tourism. Is there anything else? Not by unanimous consent, we'll adjourn at 5:27. I believe that's a record.
Good job.